Maybe it was the high of celebrating my first Halloween. Or maybe I wanted to relieve the social anxiety urging me to run and hide in the bathroom. I don't know why I decided to get drunk that night. I didn't realize how dizzy I was until I found myself leaning against Elijah Wood's DJ booth. Brian's friend had set up his music station in the living room corner, and alcohol gave me the courage to stumble my way over to make a song request. "Do you have any salsa?" I shouted. Elijah's orb-like eyes looked up at me, even bluer in person. I thought of a sermon I once heard a pastor give on how Frodo from The Lord of the Rings represented us, burdened with the ring of God's calling, aided by Gandalf's representation of Jesus, who even died in the shape of a cross before coming back to life. Elijah smiled and shouted back at me above the noise. "Sorry, what?" he asked. "Do you have any salsa?" I repeated. "Salsa music for dancing. So sorry, I don't." I gave him my biggest smile. "It's okay." I made my way back to the kitchen and grabbed another glass of orange juice with Captain Morgan. I'd chugged it by the time I returned to the living room, leaving my glass on an entry table in the foyer. I had decided to look for my friend Johnny when the sensation of being watched drew my eyes to the living room archway. Two girls stared at me with what could only be lust in their eyes. They wore almost nothing, grinding against each other as their heavily lined eyes flitted up and down. I had never been so blatantly checked out by a girl before. To have two of them looking like they wanted to devour me nearly stopped me in my tracks, but the momentum of my drunkenness propelled me forward. The girls moved toward me with the liquid grace of mermaids. Wordless, I let them slither their arms around me and pull me in between them as a slow, heavy beat played from the speakers. The girl wearing a cowboy hat pressed her boobs against mine, squeezing my exposed ass with her hand as she smiled at me seductively. I found myself smiling back. The girl behind me, whose intoxicating fragrance reminded me of juicy pears and heady gardenias, slid her warm hands over my bare waist. I melted into the rhythm of them, dipping with their hips and marveling at the softness of their bodies. The girl in front leaned in as though she would kiss me. I tilted my face so that her lips met the side of my neck. I didn't push her away. Lost in the sensuality of the moment, I closed my eyes and nearly quivered when her tongue glided up to my ear.